yes, it is true. I am late. I'm sorry. Don't sue me too much. Welcome to another Saturday night. I got many excuses why I'm late, but I'm not going to bother you with it. I apologize. But I wouldn't be me if I wasn't. So we have a very interesting show tonight with somebody that's been here before, but he is continuously doing more and more and more. So it's going to be like a brand new show. So trust me when I say that. And since I've kept you waiting this long, I will say that I'm going to keep you waiting longer. um, hey, how you doing? I do want to get this out of the way. If you'll take a moment and click like, that'd be great. I will also say that we're currently looking for investigations. So if you got something going on in your home and you're not too far from us, let us know, and we'll do our best to come and help you out with that. And if you're closer to the New York area, our next guest will be very happy to help you as well. So, and without any further ado, if he's ready, he'll give me a thumbs up, and I'll bring him on the show. All right. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good, Scott. How are you?
I am all right.
I love the
uh,
new entrance video.
yeah, yeah. That wasn't there last time.
No. It was a different one last time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm constantly tweaking and messing around. But for those that do not know you, will you take a moment and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Caleb Dobson. I started Chautauqua Area Paranormal Society back in 2020. We're working with new clients and all that all the time. We have tons of different members. We actually started. So when I started CAPS, it was actually the Chautauqua County Apparition Investigation Team, and we went through some changes since 2020 and made some changes, and now we are the Chautauqua Area Paranormal Society, and we've doing a lot of things. So our goal was when we started was to directly just help clients, and we're free. So if anyone was wondering, we're free, and our goal is just like to help clients discover the paranormal and open up a different look. Another thing too is we go in trying to debunk. So like our main, we approach it a little differently than maybe some people do. We don't go in looking for the paranormal activity. We go in looking for the root cause, what's really happening, and then we try to debunk as much of the paranormal activities we can, and really figure out what's actually going on and what's really happening in these locations. We've worked with clients all over the place. We've worked with stores, movie theaters, churches, clients' homes and businesses. So we've been working and doing a lot over the last few years, and we're
Five
continuing
years
every day.
already.
So
5 years already. Wow.
yep, yeah, I know it's crazy. It doesn't feel like that.
I remember when you were first starting.
Yeah, and you gave us a lot of advice. If it wasn't for you and Mike from JPI, I don't know if we'd be where we are today. So thank you.
Much appreciated. I didn't think I offered that much, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you.
Uh, since I've had this on screen, this comment, I'm going to throw him a little bit of a bone because he's been working hard, and so has a few other people trying to. I'm starting to question them a little bit because they're really pushing to see me in a dress, and they really push looking for it. How you doing there, Jason?
Hey,
Um,
Jason.
so, so I'll throw a little this out there. This is going to be the one and only time that I throw this out to help them and hurt me. And if you don't want to see me in a dress, don't do it. What I said in a video, and the video is on YouTube on this channel, saying trying different ramen noodle flavors with your grandkids or something along that line, something with ramen noodles. I said in that video, if the video gets 300 views and on Rumble and on Facebook, if the combined views got to be 300, I would wear a dress in the middle of summer, downtown Warren.
Oh man.
So they're really pushing for this. So that's making me wonder why.
Uh oh.
Um,
So did that video get 300 views on
and
it?
you have until March 25th to get the views. I didn't leave it open ended. I wasn't. Right now, they need about 70 views to have that happen.
All
It's the
right.
one with me and the grandkids trying ramen noodle cups of it's breakfast flavored ramen noodles and s'mores flavored cup of noodles. So this is the one and only time I'm gonna advertise which video it is. After that, I can't do nothing more.
I'll do some more advertising. Don't worry, Scott.
No, you don't make me wonder why you want to see me in a dress, sir. But anyways, so this is the first time I said it. I'm currently 86 views on YouTube. So yeah, that brought it up another 7 views since last time I checked. How you doing, Phoenix? I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I feel like I might open up Pandora's box by saying that. But anyways, I will do it if it's by March 25th. I didn't
March
leave it
20th.
open ended. I don't want in 10 years when I'm 70 years old,
Oh,
Nobody
man.
wants to see that to begin with. So,
Oh,
but
man.
let's get back to you, sir. 5 years already. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I know. Saying it like that, I guess I didn't realize it's been 5 years already. Wow.
Neither did I. I guess we just get so caught up in life. Yeah, I remember how excited you were when you first were on the show way back then, and
Yeah.
uh, and how excited. Do you still have that same energy?
Um. Yeah. I guess not as much as I did. I definitely do still get like super excited about like certain investigations and certain things that we do. And I'm like you were saying earlier, I'm constantly coming up with new projects and stuff to keep me interested. And there was a little bit that I got kind of burnt out. And I kind of took a break and took a few months. I really didn't do much, if anything at all, in the paranormal for a while. But we're getting back into it now. I'm working with people I've never worked with before, coming up with tons of different cool projects and stuff. So we're really excited for that. So I
Definitely.
definitely say I do still have that same excitement. Just I think I need a little break for a little bit. But
I think a lot of people that's been in the paranormal field the last few years took a couple of bit of
right.
time off. I've heard that quite a bit. Now, in that time off, how you doing, Ed?
Hey
In
Ed.
that time off, you had graduated high school.
Yep.
Because a lot of folks don't realize that, unlike you, don't probably put it out there. You're still considered young.
Right. Right. Yeah. I'm
You're
18. 18.
you're you're not 18 now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're just 18.
I'm 18. Yep. Yep.
Why was I thinking you're like 24 or something?
No.
Oh my
18. Yep.
lord!
Yep.
I cannot believe that. You just blew my mind.
Yep.
I was thinking you're still like I thought you were like 24 and such.
Yeah, no, 18. And I just got in college too now. So I graduated high school last year. You came to my graduation party.
I
And
did.
then
I did.
I'm in college now, so 18. Thank
Congratulations,
you.
youngest in charge. Yeah,
Yeah.
I I could have sworn you were older.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to rush you now.
No.
Um, Amazing. Um, so yeah, I would say that you're probably one of the youngest people I met into to ghost hunting, starting your own team, graduating, going into college. Uh, back then you were also into the volunteer firefighting. Do you still do that, or did you kind of step away because you've been so busy?
So I'm still technically I'm still part of the fire department, but I haven't done anything, I'll be honest, in quite some time, just 'cause I've been so busy. I'm living on campus now at college. I'm home right now for the weekend and stuff. And we just started a business with my family, but so I'm kind of bouncing back at home on the weekends and stuff. But Yeah, I haven't ran a call in quite some time, but I still talk to everybody over there, and I'm still part of the fire department. I just wouldn't say I'm as active as the last time we spoke for sure.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody truly steps away unless
Right.
they health or something comes up. But
Right.
but yeah, definitely, and definitely understandable. You're young, so you have a lot of stuff you have to take care of. Just because you're young doesn't mean that you don't have responsibilities.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I completed the EMT program. So I took the EMT through my fire department. I didn't sit, so I passed the tests in class, but then I have to go and take the state exam. I haven't done that part yet, so I'm technically not on the books as an EMT.
You're on your path to that.
Right, right, and so I have a year to take it from when we ended. So we ended in August. I think I have till this August to take it. So I'll probably take it this summer break when I'm off.
Okay.
But I probably do need to get back into studying for it because I definitely don't remember everything from that I'm going to need for the to sit for the exam. But
Little word of advice: quicker you do it, the better,
I
because
know
time will sneak up on you, and you'll be like,
I
"Oh my God, it's already May,
I
or
regret wait.
already
Yeah,
this
I
month."
regret waiting this long, but I don't know. I didn't make time to do it. I was doing so much, and I didn't make enough time to do it. And now I'm in college, so it's like really hard at this time right now to do it. But,
Well, you have time, so don't
right,
get discouraged, but just
right,
don't think that it's going to be far away off. It comes up quicker than
yeah,
we planned. Like we were saying, 5 years already.
yeah, yeah.
So so definitely. Uh, Now you say you're in college. Do you plan on doing paranormal stuff down that way, or up
Yeah,
that way, or
yeah. I
wherever?
want to get into stuff. I actually been working a little bit, doing some stuff in my college. So we have it's on the internet. There was a girl who passed away at our college a few years ago. She's not at our college, but she went to our college. She was walking back to the campus from work, I believe, and she got hit by a car in a hit and run. And they say she haunts the basement of actually my dorm building.
Oh,
So we went down there with my spirit box last week and stuff. And we're just, playing around and hanging out with some friends and stuff and trying. We didn't really get anything. We got a few like interesting responses, but it was a male voice that came across. So,
hmm.
but it was pretty interesting stuff. It was still pretty interesting. But there's actually an abandoned hotel right next to my college. So that'd be pretty cool to check that out sometime, I think. But there's a lot of cool places down there that I've seen that I kind of want to get into and hopefully investigate soon. So
If you don't mind me asking, what college are you at?
yeah, I'm at Hilbert College in Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's kind of up for us.
yeah, yeah.
Now, have you been out that way for the state fair yet?
I have not. No.
Oh my gosh, you better do it this
Yeah,
year. They're so big. Fluffy Gabriel Ingles likes to
yeah,
go there.
yeah.
He's been there
I've
a
never
couple
gone
of
to the fair. Have you gone there, Scott?
years. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty big. Pretty. Anybody
Oh,
that's within the area, if anybody can travel there this year, I would recommend it. It's huge. You will not be disappointed. If you've been to your little fairs, they're nice and they're fun, but this could probably fit 4 or 5 little fairs, and that's how big it is.
really? Wow. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I definitely heard of
yeah.
it, but I've never gone.
So are you thinking about starting a second team in the area, or just kind of
I
hobby
think
fun?
yeah, I think we're just gonna keep Caps going because Caps wasn't. It was based in Chautauqua County, but it was never meant to stay in Chautauqua County. So I think we want to kind of
Okay.
like widen our where we're investigating and stuff like that. Like right now, we're working with a client out near Gettysburg, just
Oh
about
wow.
40 minutes from Gettysburg. So we're starting to really widen and kind of span out a little bit. We also were working with a client not too long ago in Pittsburgh. So we're starting to kind of, get out there a little more, but I don't think I want to start a second team. I think I want to stick with the team I have, but maybe expand on the team that we have right now.
Definitely makes sense. Speaking of that, how many members do you have on your team?
Well, all right. Let's see. I think I got 7 right now.
Wow.
We had more. We lost a few people moved away and stuff like that. Some decided to get out of it, but we're actually looking for more members currently. But yeah, we have 7 right now.
I did see you advertise that. I was going to bring that up. Now, those, okay, let's go a different route. Pay attention, guys. What's the qualifications or things you're looking for, and how do they reach out to you to become a member? If they're like, is there location based, or is there, you know what I'm saying?
No, so we've had people say that like, oh, I'd love to join the team, but we're kind of too far away. What I want to do is I want to be able to have members out in all different states and all around the United States, because what I want to do eventually is maybe we have people who are trained and can run their so we could have caps NY, and then it'll be caps and then dash the state, so we could do that. And I kind of want so kind of be able to run their own investigations through their state on the behalf of caps. And I think we want to start really kind of doing that and expanding out into different states without having to maybe travel into those states all the time. And we have members though, we can have members anywhere, because when we travel to those states and stuff like that too, they can investigate with us and be part of it. And they can be part of our meetings. All of our meetings are online. They can still be part of CAPS without having to always investigate. Not all of our members always investigate with us all the time. So we can have it like that too.
Now, you probably have different roles, like you say they don't have to go out with you to investigate, but they could like help you through evidence review and situations like that.
Yeah. So, and when we were doing Caps Radio, which was our podcast, they could totally, be part of our podcast. And there's so many things, right, that they could be part of, whether it's setting up, helping us with events, doing events and stuff like that. Or, we have like tech managers, case managers. We have people anywhere in the United States, take phone calls and send us out on cases and set up cases for us if they're trained properly, right? And so we have like tech managers, case managers, tons of different positions that not all of them need to be right up front in the action all the time. And sometimes like we have members who maybe don't want to really investigate, but are still interested in this stuff and still want to be part of CAPS however they can. So we have people that just work more behind the scenes than actually, investigate with us.
Definitely. And that makes sense. Not everybody wants to be out out investigating because either they're scared, nervous, or whatever. I was looking for your email. I wasn't sure if I still had it, but I guess I am wrong. This is the correct name, right?
Would I be able to put it in the chat, or does that work? Or
you could put it in the chat. Is this the right name though? Did I spell it right and everything?
So it's CHAUTAU and then QUA.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's really weird.
That is that right?
So yeah, so it'd be CH and then A and then U TAUQUA for Chautauqua.
I tell you what, drop it in the chat and
yep.
I can't believe I don't have that right in there. But yeah, this is an invite, and we are looking to collab on a spot. Maybe that could be a place that we could collab at.
Yeah, Ed, I definitely will be there soon. Hopefully, yeah, Scott, we can get together and investigate soon.
I was leaning more towards the summer, warmer weather.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't want to be trying to travel. New York State as well as Pennsylvania both get some pretty rough roads in the winter.
It won't let me comment on the public chat, but I did send it to you privately, Scott. If you got the chat,
possibly.
I don't know why it's not letting me.
It's not showing me. Oh, I see it.
Okay.
I
don't know if you can copy and paste it or something. It's.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, that could be a place that we could definitely think about collaborating on. Yeah, that'd be our first. it's crazy that we haven't investigated with each other yet.
Yeah, I know. We've known each other, my whole time in the paranormal, and you're one of the few that I've known the whole time that we haven't investigated together yet. So we got to change that soon. Hopefully, maybe this summer.
No, not maybe. Let's
Oh yeah, definitely this summer. Yeah.
rephrase it. So I put it in the chat. If you guys are interested in reaching out to Caleb to be showing interest in possibly becoming part of a CAPS member, be it local or he's looking to expand. I don't know if franchise is the right word. It describes it right, but I think franchise is more like if you're looking to expand a business as opposed to a group. But it's same idea, same concept as a franchise.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you did put it right. Um, so yeah. So reach out to him on Facebook is probably your best area, right?
Yeah, for sure. Reach out to us on Facebook. Yeah, that'll
Now,
be just
do they have to believe in the paranormal to be part of your group?
now. Not so. When we originally started, my thing was every member of CAPS had an experience, at least some experience in their lifetime, right? So each person had some type of experience in the field. It didn't necessarily have to be they've investigated before or they've been part of a paranormal team, but they've had experiences in the past that they could talk about. Now I think we've kind of veered away from that a little bit because it's I think it's healthy to have skeptics on the team too. So we don't always need if there's a skeptic that's willing to still investigate, that's like still open. I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
really helpful to have them too on the team because they can kind of bring. Now we already bring a scientific look to it anyway, or like we try to debunk everything. But I feel like having somebody who doesn't believe in it could help us out a little bit too. It could help us out more. So I think we kind of done away a little bit with exactly must have an experience.
And that's the benefit of having a little bit of time under your belt. You learn little things like that. Because I was about to say, I would think that it would be good to, hey, Jonathan, you have a great night. I'm going to shout Jonathan out. Sorry to interrupt our show.
Of course.
Caleb, you need to reach out to him, or he needs to reach out to you to be on his
Austin,
show. He's a great interviewer, a great show. One of the if you want to talk about paranormal unity, this guy is the top of it. This guy is shouting out everybody, supporting everybody.
awesome.
He's really top notch. I enjoy watching his shows in the morning. Usually he does his other shows when I'm in bed because I'm not 18 like you that could get 3 hours of sleep and be okay.
I know what we were
It takes a
talking
lot of
to.
beauty
Yeah, we were
takes a
talking
lot of
to.
beauty sleep to look this good. And don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead though.
No, you're good. Yeah, I know we were talking a few nights ago, and you were going to bed. You're going to bed pretty early. Like, well, it was like 7:30 or something.
Yeah, I'm laying down at 7. Sleep about 7:45, 7:30. But for those that don't know, I get up at like 3 in the morning to go to work
Yeah.
and drive a half hour to get to work. So, you know, when you think about it that way, that's only about 7 hours of sleep.
Right.
And I drive a bus, and me being tired and falling asleep behind the wheel is probably not a good thing. So
No,
I try to
no.
get at least 6 hours of sleep if I could help it.
Right. So Wednesday gives the most
And you're right on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely. But so we were saying about, yeah, having skeptics in your group and having a little bit of time underneath your belt definitely helps you look at things slightly different. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I
Uh,
definitely agree, and I think that's what like at the beginning I was like, no, we don't want any skeptics on the team. We want all believers. But like you said, over time, you adapt and you change with experience, and now it's like, no, we want skeptics to be part of it because they can help us. And like Ed was saying, sometimes they get the best responses sometimes.
Sorry, I'm trying to get that switched over for you.
No, that's okay.
For some reason, I was just about to invite everybody into the live stream. So, but yeah, I got a little distracted. So it's not coming up right, Caleb, for your email.
Oh, it's not coming
So
up.
For some reason, every time I go to paste it, it's pasting the link for the last show.
Oh.
So.
I don't know.
So.
Yeah, that's okay. It's on our Facebook page and stuff. If they go and look up Chautauqua Area Paranormal Society, they can find our Facebook page, and then our email's on there and stuff. So, and our phone number.
Let me try one last way. So, what is the one place that you would love to go back to?
One that we want to go back to. I feel like we're not completely fulfilled.
I believe this is the right address for you.
Caps22team@gmail. Yep. Caps22team@gmail.com. Yep, that's it.
So if they want to reach out to this email address to say that they would like to be part of the team.
Yep.
Is that why you sent this?
Yeah, so we check the email daily. So if you need to send us whether you are having paranormal experiences, you would need us to investigate, or if you have just questions, or if you want to join the team, we check our email daily. So shoot us an email, and we'll send you a message back.
Awesome, cool, good deal. I'll leave that scrolling for a minute or two. So we'll go to the question, and then we'll go back into the more. But so I think I asked is, what place would you like to go back to?
Yeah, so like I was saying, so there's a few that we feel like we're not completely fulfilled on. We want to go back to, but I'd say one of the ones that's really on the top of the list right now, and really for the entire team, is honestly, it would be Ed's sweet home. We feel we had some pretty crazy experiences there. My mother got, I don't know if attacked is the right word, but I never seen her that way. I got scratched on my face. So we had some physical, contact there. That was really, and there was just some experiences there that we just really couldn't explain, and some things that were pretty craziest things that we've really some of the craziest things we've experienced in 5 years. So that's one of the places I'd say that's on top of our list to go back to soon, for sure.
I'm gonna throw Ed under the bus, and since I've known you a little bit, sorry, Ed, I'm gonna throw you in the house under the bus. On a scale of 1 to 10, what number would you give the place on being active? Not so much haunted, but active, paranormal wise.
Okay, so we went there one night. I would say
one time.
Yep, we've gone there one time. I would say from the one time we've gone there, I would say probably a 7.5 maybe. Yeah.
Now, folks.
Now, and you would know too, Scott. Ghosts don't, spirits don't work on our time, and sometimes you can go places and it's dead silent. So for anyone who's in the chat too, 7.5 is actually really good for going somewhere one time, because I mean, activity. There's times where we've gone places that are like super super haunted, and we've gotten nothing, silence for 8-9 hours. And I mean, I feel like at Sweet Home, it was really just activity after activity after activity. Like I don't think it really ever really like stopped or like quieted down, really.
I was about to put that same disclaimer as you just did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, folks, just because there was one, that's one time. We've at WASP has been to places 3 or 4 times with absolutely nothing.
Right.
The 5th time, all craziness broke out.
Yep. Yeah, and I would say if anyone who hasn't gone there, that's definitely a location to look into.
Definitely. I plan on going there myself. I'm sure the group WASP will go with me. We could probably collab on the right night with that.
That'd be awesome.
he's saying your whole family seemed to be targeted that night.
Yeah, really. Our whole team had some crazy experiences, and I know. So two of us left with physical marks on us,
Mm.
and there was see, there was four of us, five of us, maybe there. Everyone had an experience though that shook them. Like it affected us when we left. It
I
wasn't
will.
like one of those things. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I will say, based off of what you said and what Ed has said, and I apologize, Ed, if this takes the wrong way. If you take it the wrong way, I would recommend that this is not the first place you ever go to on an investigation,
Yeah,
because
for
there's
sure.
there is reports of physical activity and such. So,
Yeah, Ed, and I
um,
mean this, and Ed, I mean this with all due respect. Ed's location is it's definitely not a location for the sensitive. It's not a location for and it shouldn't definitely be something for someone to go to for like their first investigation, like you were saying, Scott. It's definitely something I feel like maybe a little bit of experience under your belt. You don't need to be great, but at least gone somewhere and know what you're getting yourself into before going there. There's
at
something
least
there's something dark, I think, at Ed's location. I really do believe that, and Ed will be the first one to tell you that as well. So
right, yeah, he has not been shy on
right,
saying that this stuff happens. He's not trying to sugarcoat it for people.
yeah,
That's for sure. And I appreciate you. I don't know if you're speaking to me directly or Caleb, but we both show you
yeah. I
respect in what
appreciate
you
you
do
too,
in
Ed.
your place. But I did want to put that disclaimer out there for my own personal, um, that for the first time, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, if you're a thrill seeker and you walk in knowing because you've heard it here and he is not shy of telling people that his place has that type of activity, if you're that kind of thrill seeker, that's on you.
Yeah,
I would recommend it. So I'm glad you didn't take that the wrong way.
yeah, I agree, Ed.
So
At least a little bit of experience and at least have investigated. Don't make this your first investigation you ever done. That's for sure.
definitely, definitely. Um, that's the Sweets Estates up in Fillmore, New York. Um, that's the place we're talking about. I don't think we came right out and said that yet.
Yep, Sweet
So
Home Estates.
um, so yeah. So now I'm I'm tired, so my mind's working all over the place. So forgive me if I'm kind of
That's
like,
okay. You had a long
well,
day. Yeah.
it's been a long day. Um, I will say that, um, yeah, lost train of thought there. Um,
I do that all the
there
time. Don't
is
worry.
a lot of things to in your future that you have coming up, and I know we touched on it. So let's touch on a few things that's coming up, and I appreciate you, sir,
Well, yeah, I appreciate you
and
as
your
well, Ed.
honesty and your honesty and your bluntness. And have
Um,
you
yeah, so we haven't. So actually, the client we're working with right now sent us a picture that appears to be a ghost cat, and they believe it to be a ghost cat. I mean, you can see a cat in the picture, and they say that they don't have um any cats or anything. Or I think they had one, but their cat would like always they didn't have a cat when this picture was taken, and they said their cat would always like look like it was playing with like a different cat or something, and kind of like looking at something. um we never personally though encountered a ghost pet, or a ghost animal. There's been a few times like where we worked with like with those claims, but never encountered it or experienced anything with it. But that'd be pretty cool to experience something like that. That'd be awesome.
definitely? I agree. A little funny story, and yeah, hopefully if we go, not if, hopefully when we go, we could help you out with that.
Yeah,
Now, a
if,
little funny story about pets and cats and such. We are on investigation at Wasp, and we we got really super excited. Leefoot, especially Lee.
Mhm.
We had a laser grid set up and a camera set up, and we got this very clear case of a shadow in front of the blocking laser and the whole 9 yards. We were
Really?
watching it in live time on the DVR cameras and a little laptop, so we're watching it in live time. And then when we put it up on the big screen at home, a cat was curious about our laser grid system, so got up on the chair and was kind of looking around. So I was blocking that part of the laser grid, but the screen was small enough where he couldn't see the cat looking into the laser grid. So yeah, so we were all excited. We thought we had something big, and we were all woohoo. And then seeing the
Fun.
cat's face on the camera
There
on
was a
the
few times,
five
yeah.
inch.
Yeah, there was a few times we worked with a client not too long ago out of only in New York, and she had two cats, and the one cat when we went back on our DVR was always messing with us. Was like, "Oh, and we got something here," and then it turned out to be the cat. So,
It's funny, entertaining, frustrating.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Another person that um, is very supportive of people in the paranormal, and she's been in a few groups and knows that very well, and done a lot of investigation herself.
So hey, Janice.
So now let's go on to a little bit of things in your future. You were on, and I think Aaron from yeah, his name's Aaron, right? From Ghost Adventures and Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, Aaron. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know Aaron. I know of Aaron.
I thought I thought you froze or I froze for a second. I'm like, uh, you got a little still there for a second, my
Yeah, yeah. I
friend.
was trying to think. Yeah. So
So
he's the
you,
one that from Ghost Adventures too, right? I can't think of his last
yeah,
name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
or no, I'm sorry. He is on Ghost Adventures, but I'm thinking Nick.
Oh, Nick. Yes, I worked with Nick. Yep. Yeah, I worked on Death Walker, which was an awesome experience. Yeah. Yep.
Tell us about that a little bit, if you would, please.
Yeah, for sure. So I worked season 4, episode 10. You can see me on Death Walker. That's such a great really experience and show. If anyone's never seen Death Walker, it's definitely something to watch if you like ghost hunting shows. Nick is so good and so authentic with his experience, and he puts so much work into everything he does. And he, no matter like how many times like people try to tear Nick down too, he's always coming back with something, and he's always got tons of new ideas and new projects he's always coming up with too. From Paranormal Lockdown and some of the other ones he came up with, and Death Walker, all that. And yeah, it was such a good experience working with Nick, working with the entire crew, meeting a bunch of new people. And I met some of my closest friends down the paranormal just from working that day and working with Death Walker. And it really helped me because I want to get into documentary filmmaking. And yes, Janice, Nick Roth. Yep. And I want to get into working, like doing documentary filmmaking and stuff like that. So it's really nice to kind of see how it goes behind the scenes, right? And see the work behind
Right.
it from being part and being behind the scenes and being part of the action. And so I think that was a really cool experience all around and stuff like that. So that was awesome.
How did you get that first step into that? A lot of people
Yes.
would be curious how to do that.
Yeah. So I think I'm trying to think where I seen it. Um, it was on Facebook, I believe, and I think Dan posted it. Because Dan I believe is a producer for Death Walker. I believe is his position. And I think Dan posted it. I reached out to Dan, and he got me in contact with someone else who was kind of setting up the castings and stuff. And he gave me a call back a few hours later and said, "Hey, we got something for you if you're interested." And I was like, "Heck yeah!" So, and it kind
Nice.
of just went from there. So, yeah, I would just say just keep a lookout. So I know that they're filming season 5 of Death Walker right now. So what they do is they go and they investigate the locations, then they come back and then they start playing doing the reenactments and stuff. So if you want to be part of that, it's definitely possible. Just keep a lookout on Nick's stuff, on Nick's Facebook. I would say, and Dan too, if you follow Dan or,
Dan.
Dan, Class from
Okay.
the Hinsdale house. Yeah. If he, they should be doing it around April time, I believe, give or take, somewhere around that area. They should start, I believe, doing the reenactments again. So for season 5.
I reached out to Dan, but he's so busy with his
Yeah.
personal life that eventually I'll have him on the show. He said he's agreed to be on the show, but his personal life has been keeping him going.
Yeah,
So
he's been pretty busy. Yeah,
I've
Dan's
been
awesome.
I've been kind of patiently sitting back, waiting,
Yeah.
for my turn, waiting for my turn for him to come on my show.
Yep.
Little old me. But with that being said, you had mentioned that there's something else in the works for you when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of documentaries and shows and stuff like that, I'm working actually with Diana May, if anyone knows who that is. Diana also works over at the Hinsdale house, and she's awesome. I love Diana. She's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And
Yeah.
her and I are working right now. So I believe, hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying this. She, I believe, worked as like a producer for the Ghost Finders, which is a show. And so her and I are working right now on kind of creating our own show. And she's got a lot of connections too with people from TV and stuff like that, that we're going to work together, kind of come up with our own idea. And we have actually a pretty cool idea on how we want to go about it and make it a little different. Because we wanted something that was a little different than what we're seeing on TV right now. So what we're going to do,
Definitely.
using like, all these high-tech gadgets and awesome equipment, we want to go with using just our body as a piece of equipment, our senses, right? Our eyes, our ears,
Okay.
smell, touch, all that. And so that's kind of how we want to approach the investigations. Maybe have an audio recorder with us and stuff like that. But we don't want to. We want to kind of steer away just for the show. And I have these gadgets and stuff like that, and they're awesome. They are helpful, but we want to kind of steer away with that for this idea and really use ourselves as the equipment and maybe an audio recorder. And because sometimes I think we get so caught up with this new technology and this new equipment that we forget that we are our best piece of equipment.
Kind of as if, and I hope I don't get no slack for putting it this way, but almost like an Amish approach to it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I didn't think about it
Less,
that way.
less electronics, less modern day stuff, the better.
Right. And I think you could just like kind of get that interesting approach, that we're not really seeing on TV a lot right now. When you look at TV, you think of, all these fancy, awesome gadgets that they're using and stuff like that. So
Definitely. And they're neat to watch. They really are.
they are. Yeah, for sure.
And especially if you're an investigator, because you're like, oh, I got to get some of that. I
Right.
got to have that.
And I'll be honest, Scott, and I think, some of these shows too, they use these gadgets and the equipment more for the show because people, want to watch these shows to see these gadgets work, right? And it can just kind of help out the show form in a sense with having these super cool, neat gadgets. But that's not what we want to do with our show. We want to kind of, and yeah, it's super cool to watch and stuff. We just kind of want to take a different approach and see how this approach works.
Now, let me play devil's advocate a little bit. What are you guys going to do when things are not active for the camera and things are slower? Do you have any thoughts? Because that's bound to happen sooner or later. Are you just going to have a bunch of like 4 weeks of recording and condense it down?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, Scott. And I think so. It's still in the works. We're still working on it and still in the process of really how we want to go about it. But that's the idea. But yeah, that's a good question. I think really like sometimes if we have to investigate somewhere to get, 2-3 times to get all the, good footage that we need, right? And a lot of times on these shows too, they're not, they make it seem like they're investigating it for a night or 2 nights, but really they're on set
Okay.
for 2 weeks, if not, longer sometimes. And
I was gonna bring
they're
that
doing it
up.
down. Yeah, and they kind of shrink it into like a night or two of the best footage that they caught over time. Now, so if we have to go back to a location a few times to really get enough footage that we think is worth an episode, and there might be times where we film for an episode and we decide afterwards, we just didn't really get anything that's worth putting into an episode. That's going to happen too. I think there's definitely going to be challenges and kinks we have to work out, but I think the overall the idea of it is there. We're just going to have to work out, some of the kinks and stuff like that. But
Don't let my question discourage you at all.
yeah,
That's
no,
not what
for
that
sure.
was meant for.
Right.
Just the real reality of such shows, and you're right. And I was
Right.
gonna bring it up. They do, and they're not on locations. The big name people aren't on location for 2 weeks or so. They have groups like us around doing the footwork and say, "Hey,
Right.
there's stuff going on over here." Then they pop in for that couple hours in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what Lee put is mentioning is we have a REM pod that somebody made into an Ecto One model car.
I know. I love that piece that you have. You brought that to our Paracon, I believe, if I'm correct, and I got to see that
I
in
did.
person, which was really
Now
neat.
that
Yeah,
you mention it,
I would love to. I would love to have one of those piece like that. That'd be awesome. That'd be super cool. And stuff like that though is awesome when you want to use like equipment like that on TV. Like people would love to see that on TV. Equipment like that. You know
right?
how cool that would be. But yeah, definitely, I do want to get a piece like that for sure.
I'll get you the name of the person that did it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Perfect.
Tim's REM pods. Yeah,
Yes, I think you told me
I'll
that before. Tim's Room Pods. I'll write that down real quick.
he's got that. He's got Scooby Doo Mystery Machine. He's got
Oh man.
Annabelle. He's got all kinds of stuff. I tried to get him on the show, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he's shy of the camera or something. I don't know. He didn't reach back out to me, but that doesn't matter. I just put him on blast. That's whatever. But yeah, it's things like that are fun to have as a
Right.
group.
Yeah.
Just little fun things.
For
Now,
sure.
like we do believe in going back to the basics as well. Like not so much electronic, but maybe something you could use is like we hear reports of doorknobs jingling, so we'll tie a bell on a string and just put it on the doorknob.
See, yeah, things like that, like interesting, like things that we could. And honestly, that might be a good, thing to add too. Is like because I feel like that could bring in, our creativeness. And Diana's super, super creative. The stuff Diana comes
Nice.
up with, she's awesome. And I think, with we can come up with some like creative ideas like that too to kind of like make up our like makeshift, like our own kind of equipment like that instead of using all these same things, doing stuff like that to kind of like make people think like, oh, that's super cool. Like I never would have thought of that. So things like that for
Well,
sure.
I'd love to take that idea, but it wasn't mine. I got it from the first Conjuring movie or one of the Ed Lorraine's movies where they put the
Right.
little
That's
bell.
okay. We all work together as a team anyway, right? We always take things from different people. Most of the stuff that I come up with wasn't something that I just created. And sometimes I take ideas from somebody and then makeshift it and make it into my own idea. And never do I want people to think like I'm stealing people's ideas or anything. So that's not what I'm trying to do either. But I think we just work so well as a team that all of us together in the field that we can all use each other's ideas and all help each other out. I think this is what it's about.
Definitely, and yeah, and the more that people realize that, the more the paranormal field will be better. Um,
Right.
but that could be a whole show on itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so now you have you're in the idea creation of this at this point. You're not past that part, right?
Yeah, so we're still kind of creating it, working out the kinks and stuff. Looking at another thing we want to do kind of too with it is we're working on locations that aren't really as well known that we haven't seen on TV much, if at all, up to this point. There's so many locations still that haven't been on TV or haven't really got the popularity that they could really have. Like there's been some locations, for example, just one that's on top of my head, Judson House and Eagle Hotel.
Which
That's
is
one we
another
have
place
gone
I
to.
plan on going to.
Yeah, that place is awesome. We've been there so many times, gotten some awesome, evidence there. One, that's actually our first time we caught a figure walk across on our screen on our thermal imaging camera. That was freaking
Nice.
awesome. So some super cool activity there that, they never had a show there. They don't have really the popularity. Not many people know about it. And I would love to bring our show there to kind of bring some popularity there. So that's kind of what we want to do with it as well. Not go to, all these super well-known locations. As much as we love these locations, I like to go kind of to some new ones and kind of bring some other ones, on the map.
And the crazy place about the Waterford place is locally they're known. They've been on the local news, like Erie
Right.
News and Buffalo and such. They've been on news, so it's
Yeah.
not like it's not there. I don't know why they haven't grown to
Right.
more status. Now, did you know that they paved their roads when they were dirt roads with dirt from a cemetery?
From Waterford?
Waterford?
No,
Yeah.
no, I didn't know that. I do know they have a lot of awesome history up there at Waterford, though. But yeah, I didn't know that. That's actually pretty cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, the whole town. They when they moved the cemetery from the old part to the new part, they used the dirt in the old cemetery to fill in the potholes and such.
Wow. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
I thought that was interesting. Actually, me and Stephanie went to the cemetery there, the new cemetery, with the solar eclipse when that
Oh,
was going
really?
on a
Yeah,
year or
yeah.
two ago, and we were investigating when that happened.
Wow. That's
We
super
had
cool.
some of the equipment out and such. Actually, I lost track of a bit of footage that we had there when it was pretty much at the complete eclipse. It looked like there was some kind of shadow figure in the graveyard.
Really?
So I need to find that footage again. I
Right.
switched laptops, and so it's somewhere in between the old laptop and this one.
Right.
So
Wow.
hopefully I can find it, and I'll point that out to you.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
So when are you going back to the Sweet Home Estates?
Hopefully soon. So I actually planned to go back a few weeks ago, and then my plan fell through, unfortunately. I had some other stuff going on, some personal stuff going on at the time. But yeah, hopefully here this month, probably within the next few weeks, I think. And Ed, if you're still on here, feel free to comment. But if it's possible, Ed, if you have any openings here in the next few weeks, I would love to get back there real soon. Probably this month for sure at some point.
Nice. And maybe we could network and work out a deal with us as well.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I had something in my mind and it just went out the door.
Man, I do that all the time. I hate that.
Is that what you would call a desecrator? No doubt. Yeah. So from that, I wish you well with that. Hopefully you'll keep me in the loop.
Yeah, for
Be
sure.
happy to have you back on when more of that stuff is going on as far as the show.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reach out to Denise. Is that the name you said?
Diana.
Diana.
Yeah, I think she
I'm
would love to get
horrible.
on the show. Yeah.
I'm horrible with names.
No, that's okay. Me too.
And so maybe we can network somehow with that. Now, is there anything else that you'd like to have brought up?
Well, yeah. So, I'll jump in Inside Reality then, if that's fine with you, Scott. We're working on. So last year we were working with doing Inside Reality, and what that is it brings us into debunking the urban legends and bringing out the truth to these haunted locations, right? And it takes you inside reality, right? Name of the show. And it brings you inside reality. We meet with the owners, we meet with historians, all right on the show. And our goal is to bring out the truth, debunk these urban legends. What inspired me to do this show was a few years ago, since I've been in the paranormal, since I started, first thing I looked at was Pigman Road in Angola, New York. The actual name of the road, I believe, is Holland Road, and they call it Pigman Road.
I've heard of it.
And yeah, those stories for that place are so intriguing and awesome. And I've spent hours and weeks working on the history of this location. And I worked with Jen from JPI. Her and I, Jen Bernuti, her and I worked together, and we just completely like came up with everything. Then we actually found like the root of like where this started, and then you could see where like the urban legends came about it. And it was so neat. I was actually just talking to Jen about this today and how we did it. And it was so neat to really see like where and how the urban legends stemmed from.
You
And
got excited when you started bringing that up.
yeah. And being able to debunk those, I just still to this day, that whole thought of Pigman Road just fascinates me. I love that place. I don't think I'll ever completely be fulfilled with like done working with Pigman Road. And even before I got like actually in the paranormal, I was intrigued by this road and knew about it and stuff like that, and made a visit there, a few times with friends and stuff. But once I got rolling and got into paranormal, man, that was just a place that I've always loved to talk about and be part of. So that's really where it stemmed. Like, well, you know what? How much more fake crap is on the internet for these locations?
Oh,
And then you
dude.
find so much for everything, and it's like, and then other people get that, and it's not their fault, but other people hear about
Right.
it, and then then they're like, oh yeah, and then it's like, well, no, here's the actual truth. And I think it's just so cool to have like a documentary. So inside reality, there's no investigating. It's just documentary for haunted locations, and it brings out the truth and debunks these urban legends. And we take you across the process on how we debunk these, how we talking to the owners, and all this. We have reenactments, all that stuff. Man, we had so much fun last year doing it. Unfortunately, some of the footage from last year we're going to lose. Some of the people we were working with, I'm not going to mention any names or anything, working with on the show, who are helping out with it. We don't really, they're not really part of the show right now. And so we brought on some new people to help out with it, and we kind of revamped it a little bit and tightened up some things. And again, with this place, we're gonna be going to a lot of places that either have some history that, or like some urban legends that are kind of like iffy, or places that we
Right.
really haven't heard about, and debunk some of these urban legends and bring out the truth. And we'll be back to Pigman Road again this spring and summer. We'll be going back there to work more on that, probably doing more reenactments. And then we just have so many other locations that we're working on that we hopefully is going to be pretty neat for that. So we're excited for that.
Awesome. I could hear the excitement.
Yeah,
Um, Ed, that sounds great. Definitely sounds great for that.
it'd be awesome. Yeah.
The place is spooky. He's talking. I believe he's speaking of the road you're talking about there. Is
Yeah.
that pig as in like the animal?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it stemmed from like, yeah, someone looking like a pig or something. I won't get too much into it because hopefully people will watch the
No,
episode.
I'm speaking of the name itself. Make
Yeah.
sure that the name is right. No, that's in New York, right? Angola, New York.
Yes. Yep.
Steph asked if it was out by Erie. I think you're thinking of or Corey. I think I know the road you're thinking of.
I believe it's
Uh,
not too far from like the reservation in like Irving, Silver Creek area. So
okay, okay. Now, when this gets launched and not going, where do you plan on showing this? Where can people find it?
we're working hopefully with maybe eventually. We know we have some connections, almost people on the team who have a few connections with like some like streaming services possibly. But I think this we're gonna kind of keep it right now like on YouTube. It's gonna be a whole like YouTube like its own channel. And it's
Okay.
gonna be inside, and it's gonna just be tons of different like history pieces and just so much like documentary filming and just giving so much more like info and research. And we want it to be like a portal for maybe other paranormal investigators or people who are interested in getting into the field or want to know more about these locations. It could be somewhere for them to go to get real authentic information and history on these places, and not have to worry about, well, is it real or is it and so that's what we really want to use that for. Then the show that we're working with Diana, she also has, like I said, some connections. We're working on hopefully getting that on streaming services.
Nice, nice. Now, is this how involved is Caps going to be in this?
So we have a few members who are helping out with Inside Reality, but we have a lot of members who aren't part of CAPS directly, but who have worked with me in the past and stuff, and that I've met in the paranormal that are working, and a lot of dedicated individuals who are just as interested in as part of this as I am, to really kind of like bring out the true haunted history of these locations and stuff like that. So we have a lot of awesome dedicated individuals, and I would not be able to do it without them. That's for sure. So, yeah, we have, like I said, a few members of CAPS, but most of the members are like from different places. So
Now, yeah, sorry, I was distracted for a second.
no, that's okay.
I heard everything you said. Don't missync that. Let's take a second to do something a little different. Now, you mentioned the other day and possibly earlier today, you mentioned about wanting to try something.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little thirsty, so
Let's try it.
I think you are doing this because you've seen me try stuff on camera, right?
Yeah, and I was like, why not? I was like, and I seen this in store, and I was like, let's try this. I was like, I'm gonna ask if Scott wants to try this on the podcast on Saturday.
Now, this is not. Stephanie believes this is a relaunch or something similar they've had before. Now, I will say that this is not the worst thing I've tried on camera.
Yeah,
I don't know if you caught some.
I'm not a big orange like flavor person, but I seen this and I was like, you know what? I'm interested in seeing if Scott has tried it already. And then I asked you and you said no. So I was like, let's try this.
So we will in a second, but some of the other things I've tried, have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen some of the things you've tried, like some of this like hot, like this hot ice cream, and so I've seen some of the crazy things you've tried on here. Yeah.
That wasn't so crazy. The hotness one. That was a hot chocolate, as in hot and spicy Mexican chocolate ice cream. Then I put hot sauce on top of that, and so
Yeah,
that
I
was
don't
pretty
know.
tasty. The hottest thing that I ever had on camera was with Lee. We did the one chip challenge.
Oh man.
Oh, that
Yeah.
thing was brutal. That was brutal.
I'm glad I did not try that on camera. Yeah, that was a really
Oh,
rough time.
you've done it.
Oh yeah. I regret it. I would never probably do that one again, but
Yeah, no, unless it was like a charity reason. Yeah,
oh yeah,
I
for
wouldn't just.
charity, yeah, for sure. But yeah, no.
Did you guys like this soda? If you tried it, let us know in the comments. Yeah, Lee Foot said that it tastes like you just scooped a piece of charcoal up out of the grill and chewed on it.
Yeah.
That was his description of the flavor. Um, and so the worst, oddest thing I've tried was pumpkin pie topped with mayonnaise
Oh.
and pumpkin pie topped with mustard. Those are a couple of the.
Yeah. Wow. I was
So
gonna
you
say,
want to join me on some of these challenges?
yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
Next time I do something weird, I'll reach out to you, so I'm not
That'd
the
be
only
awesome.
one suffering.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want
Pizza for you.
pizza for me. What's the
Concocting together here a while back was
pizza?
sardine.
Pizza with sardine and chocolate. Oh, yeah. Sardines. I'm too fond with
Yeah,
sardines.
no.
Yeah, he's bringing up the ramen noodles again. uh, yeah. So yeah, next time I do a weird video, you're my guy. I'm gonna reach out to.
Awesome for
So
sure.
let's give this a try.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
do
know
it.
where the mic is on this, but so ready?
It's not that bad. I think that's a relaunch.
It tastes like a creamsicle. Like the old orange creamsicles.
Yeah, it doesn't taste bad, that's for sure. Yeah, my sister had some of it earlier, and my grandfather, but I
Yeah.
have not tried any of this yet. That's
You know what? You know the old creamsicle, like the one popsicle with
yeah. It's
the
like
cream.
orange. And it has like the cream in the middle of it. That's kind of what it
Yeah.
tastes like. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's what they call it, right?
Right. Yeah, orange cream.
Orange cream. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not like overpowering with the orange either. Like I thought it would be.
Right. Yeah, the cream flavor is a little it's more cream flavor than orange.
Right. Which I probably like it that way.
Yeah. You know, I would probably drink this whole bottle. I've
Yeah.
pretty much given up soda. I only drink one last couple of days I've been drinking them left and right. But before that, it was every couple of months. So,
Right.
excuse me. That's the
Oh,
problem with drinking carbonated stuff.
yeah.
You want to try this stuff?
I can only have literally a swallow because I can't have carbonation.
So you're my go-to guy for the next challenge. So
All right. Sounds good.
I want you guys in the comments that's still here, come up with something weird that we could try.
And make sure to go to the video of you trying ramen and like and share that. So that way they can all see you in a dress out on Pennsylvania Avenue in Warren, Pennsylvania.
You guys didn't hear that, right?
Oh,
She said, "Stay away from all videos until
no.
March 26th. After March 26th, feel free to watch every one of them."
Oh
What do
man.
you think?
I've had it before.
Yeah,
I know I'm doing right when I get off off of this.
good. I will say that it will at least be photographed. I might even let them film it. I don't know. My my significant other that cares so much for me and one of the grandkids are already discussing videotaping it and all that.
Oh man.
Yeah, you must have been clear enough because Lee is saying right out thank you stuff.
Possibly.
We're a little off topic, aren't we? So what is this will be a two-part question. What do you see for yourself in the future? Because you just put quite a bit out there, as far as like investigations and such. And what direction do you see CAPS going? Because I know you said that you were wanting to branch out a little bit, bring some members on, but outside of that, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so caps, like I said, I think we'll just continue to go up from here, and we're starting to have now where the some of the team members who've been there since day one, by my side, are starting to take more initiative, start taking on more leadership of a role. So I don't have to be there all the time now, right? We have guys who can do things, without me having to be there because, and they're trustworthy, right? To be able to run it and take on, with some of the newer members and stuff like that. Which is really nice because, that allows me to do some of the other projects that I'm doing. I never wanted the paranormal team to be the only thing I did. I wanted it to be, the start. And I've always wanted CAPS to be there no matter what I'm doing because I always want to still be able to give back and help clients, right? That was the goal with CAPS. So from here, really, I just, like I said, we want to bring on more people, expand out. From here, I see CAPS continuing to go forward and continue to climb that hill. So that's
Nice.
good for that. For me personally, yeah, I think I'm always, and I have some other project ideas that I'm not working on yet, but they're sitting on the back burner, ready to go when I'm ready for them. I'm just focused on the few things I'm doing right now. I think the reason I got burnt out last time was I come up with a different idea and I just try to do it all at once. I'm just trying to pile everything on top of each other. And I think it became too much. And so now I just want to take a few things at a time, do it and make sure I focus on these things before really, really stepping out and taking on a bunch of projects at once. And it's nice because like I said, I don't have to worry about CAPS as really like a project for me right now, right? Because I have people who take the initiative, and I don't need to do everything anymore. So that's nice. And I'm there. I'm still part of everything, very vigilant and stuff like that. But I don't need to do everything anymore. Like, hey, I was like, hey, can someone do this? Boom, it's done. And my team
Right.
is so good with that. So I'm glad to have them. And again, same thing I was saying earlier, like without any of my team members, I wouldn't be able to do this. So yeah, I may have founded it, but it takes a team. That's why it's a team. It's a team effort on everything that we do for CAPS. And so yeah, it allows me to focus on some different projects. And I think, yeah, just after, just focus on these projects right now, and we'll worry about some of the other ideas I have in the future.
You have quite a bit in the works, and I'm going to bring up another thing that seems to be going on, and you haven't touched on yet. And are you ready to start making team shirts for other teams and all that? I mean, are you starting to do this print on demand stuff, or am I
Yes.
just
So
imagining it?
no, you're right. So we just got a direct garment printer, a what $20,000 machine. We just got tumbler machines, all the stuff. We're making cups and tumblers. We're making T-shirts and stuff like that. Working on a few consignment deals to sell some other people's stuff too. We want to incorporate some different like paranormal stuff as well. But the shirts, yeah, we could do anything for the shirts, where we're crafting some new shirts, which I figured too would be a lot of, I feel like a lot of people in the paranormal that I know, it would give them a connection to be able to buy shirts through and stuff like that.
You hear it here. He wants you to drop a $10,000 order to be done by Wednesday. So
yeah, by Wednesday. Oh boy. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out, our site, Graphics Unlimited, there's a Facebook page. Also on my Facebook, I'm posting stuff as well. Right now, we have the shirt machine all up in it'll be running this Friday. So we have a class that they actually teach you how to make the shirts and stuff like that. Tumblers though, those are up and running. We're making tumblers all day. We're always making tumblers. So if you want to check out the tumblers we have, or if anyone wants custom tumblers, we do that as well. So
no, is that the business you mentioned earlier with your family?
yes, yeah, and thank you for mentioning that, Scott.
Oh, no problem. That's I'm all for trying to support people as much as I can.
Yeah.
So if it's just getting a little bit of attention to what they're doing, I'm happy to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
I'll take my back end later on, slip me that 5G here and there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All kidding aside though. No, you are very, very busy. I don't see how you're saying, oh, I'm just going to do a couple, because that couple is way more than some of the others are willing to do, let
I
alone
know.
doing.
And they're pretty large projects, but I think and I'm trying to focus on school too right now too, but
That's what I'm saying.
we're getting through it. I like to be busy. I don't like to have time where I'm sitting there like, what can I do, myself right now? And really with what I do, I don't really have that time to do that, right? I have either schoolwork, or if I'm not doing schoolwork, it's working on these things, or working on the family business now, right? So, or just taking some time to myself, whether, it's, just having some fun. So yeah, I'm always staying busy, always doing something. And I like it that way though. So.
Oh, I very much agree, Ed.
Oh, and I
I haven't
appreciate
heard
you.
him.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't heard you even pat yourself on the back yet. So you're doing well.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I always speak well of you when I speak of you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, but you've done it yourself. So, but do you ever see a time where you give up your position in your paranormal team and just let it grow on its own?
So it's been talked about and it's been thought about. I think down the road, I'm not opposed to it happening. I just think right now I couldn't do that. Like right now, like, 'cause I'm working with clients, like I couldn't imagine myself not being there working with clients alongside my team right now. But definitely down the road, I think it could be something, once I continue to start maybe doing some growing, and continue to do different things. I think maybe in the works that could be something where I become maybe I step down and someone else steps up in my role.
Mhm.
And I'll investigate when I can and stuff, but I don't take the the leadership role. But I don't think I'd ever like continue step away. And somebody, I'm not gonna mention any names, but someone did mention something about maybe like selling it and moving on. And and I don't think I would sell it. I'd like to keep it, with my people still. And
I never
especially right now.
heard I never heard of a paranormal team being sold.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's yeah, I know. I've never heard of it either, but it was a really interesting, approach. I
Yeah.
guess I never expected that, but I guess it makes sense, but
I mean, yeah,
I
it
just,
can be in a form of a business to some degree. You
right,
got almost a business model to it. I mean, people sell World of Warcraft characters. I mean,
right.
um, buy the name and the equipment, and there you go. Now we just found a new Craig's ad thing to go on.
Yeah, yeah. And
Craigslist
that's the
thing.
thing. I think like
We'll,
the reason
we'll start.
I think someone approaches for that would be, yeah, like the name and likeness maybe of a team instead of starting fresh. And then it has, we already are established with tons of equipment, tons of different equipment, stuff like that. There's the people are there, right? We have a stable group of people. So I guess if you look at it that way, if someone just wants to get into it, but maybe doesn't want to start fresh themselves and really build up that process, why not? If someone's willing to sell, a team, why not purchase that instead of, So I mean, I get it in that sense. It's just I'm definitely not right for that. I definitely don't want to sell it off to somebody who's not part of it. Not only do I think that's not maybe fair to my team, just like, oh guys, here's you're getting pushed off to somebody random. But I think just at the same time, it's just like I'm not personally ready to do anything like that.
Well, I'll take the money. I'll get you guys a pizza party, and here you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and I
But
think if that ever like was a thought, I would totally talk to my team first about that and see really what they thought before I just like surprise guys, I
right, definitely. No, yeah, I was just first time I ever heard that, and yeah, I agree with you as in stepping back and being part of the team, but um, more as a hey, I'm in the area, what's going on, you know,
right.
and
And I
let
thought, like I said, I've thought about it, taking that step back, and I've thought about also who on the team I would, let take it over in that aspect. So I definitely did think about that, just not ready to do that yet. But
and that's like with our group, my group, Warren Area Society Paranormal. It's never been about the individual. It was meant to be its own entity. So if one stepped away, it wouldn't close down.
right.
It would keep going and growing. So May is wondering what are you studying? I'm assuming in college.
Yes, yes. So, in college, I'm actually studying. It might surprise some people. I'm studying sports marketing, sports management, and getting into like sports business. I love sports, and I've always wanted to like coach and kind of have like leadership. I thought about maybe starting my own like football camp, one day or something was something I kind of wanted to do, and I think now the paranormal. I love this field, and I would love, it's very hard to do for sure, and I know that, but I would love to just work full time in the paranormal, right, and do things that I like to do on
Right.
the side. But here's the thing: I love the paranormal so much, I don't look at this as really like work. Now, if I could do that plus doing stuff in sports, I would never look at that as I've done some coaching and stuff. I've coached football and stuff like that, and I don't look at it as work. I love it. So if I could do that now full time and get paid to be in the paranormal and to do work in sports, I wouldn't consider that work. I mean, I'm doing what I love.
A dream
So
life.
I think that's why I chose to do that and go that route.
Now, yeah, not many people in paranormal make it to the degree of your Jason
Right.
Hawes and your Zachs and such. you can make money doing it,
Yeah.
but very few make it to the fame of it as opposed
Right.
to the earnings of it. And of course, football, you could earn lots of money with that.
Right. Right. Of course, May. Yeah. Thank
Um,
you for asking. Yeah.
Definitely. And speaking of people asking questions, feel free to leave a comment asking a question, because my mind only could come up with so many questions before I start repeating myself,
Okay.
especially when I'm tired. Um, as well, if you made it this far into the show, please do me a favor. If you haven't followed my stuff yet, follow, click the like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. If you follow, like the, you know, do the thing. Words are hard, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Uh, have have you been following the Conjuring House situation lately?
A little bit. So last time I really seen anything was it was getting shut down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I
Oh,
think that was what was going on, maybe. But I haven't really focused much more since I seen that. I thought like maybe like the state or the town was shutting it down, maybe if I
I'm
think.
not sure about that. My thing I keep bringing up is I'm trying to get people to look at it from a different point of view. Some might have, some might not have. Um, I don't know the owner's history, but
Right.
um, I would say that being the history of the house, having dark entities and such, has that affected her mental state, and has she became oppressed and possibly possessed?
Yeah, so now I don't know like Jackie person that's her name, right? Jackie, I think. I
I
don't know
believe
her.
you're right.
Yeah, I don't know her personally. And so I don't know what the heat is really. I never really looked into what the heat she's getting for. Um, but clearly she's getting a lot of heat and a lot of backlash. I think really
the
it definitely I
the
feel like it's
very
definitely possible. You
the
know, with
very basics of it is she's accused Jason Hawes and the mayor of the city that the house is in, and some others, of stalking her, harassing her, trying to force her out of the house so Jason can buy it. That's the very basics, minimum of it.
so I
And
did hear that. I just wasn't sure if there was more on top of it or if that was it.
there might be. I haven't looked that deep into it, but everybody's like lashing out at this person and such, and I'm like, yeah, the history of the house makes me wonder if
Yeah, and
there's some kind of possession or such.
right, and with you saying that, Scott, I never thought about that like that, and that's definitely that's possible for sure. And if not, I think even if that's not the case, maybe she's got some mental or some stuff going on, and that's okay, and maybe she just needs some help, And but what I was thinking personally is with the backlash that she's receiving, I feel like personally, I would want to get out of it. I'd want to sell it and step away, for my mental health, for me personally. And I think that's
Right.
something really that I would encourage her to do is just get out of it, sell it. Somebody would buy it. Don't,
No,
don't get it
definitely.
to come down to, something worse and but like, yeah, I definitely think for sure is personally like get out of it.
But with a house letter.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. And there's so many what ifs too, really, to it, and especially something like that. But and yeah, we see the things with like possible like attachment and things like that.
Right.
That
And we don't have no inside information or anything. This is just our outside view looking in. Kind of
right,
like I'm putting down below. This is our opinion, not considered professional advice.
right,
But I was just curious. I've been bringing that up lately.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, it's an
I
interesting topic for sure.
I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Hey, thank
Um,
you.
And Lee Foot wants to know what got you started in the paranormal.
Yeah, so Lee, good question. So actually, kind of like what I was mentioning earlier with you know, when I first started the team, I wanted people to come on with having experiences, you know. Um I grew up having experiences in the paranormal pretty much my whole life. Speaking of that, that's actually one of the projects that are on the back burner right now is doing like a tour where we bring people on to talk about their paranormal experiences and their life and stuff. And I actually want to write a book about my own personal paranormal experiences and how I got
Nice.
started and stuff like that into the field. But that's something,
You
yeah,
could
again,
do a whole thing about Jamestown for that matter.
yeah, for sure, really. And so I think with my experiences and growing up with the things that I've experienced in the field, I've always was intrigued with the paranormal. I used to sit with mom, and mom and I would watch the Ghost Hunters. Were a big show, especially when Grant Wilson and Jason Hawes were together and they had the team and stuff like that when I was younger. I mean, I watched it from a young age. I watched Ghost Hunters with my mom, and I loved the show. And growing up, it was just once you started I got a little bit older and stuff. I was like, I would love to do this, right? And you know, you'd play around with, you know, I'm not sure if anyone else has done this, but I would, you know, play around with like fake toys around the house, pretend I was ghost hunting. And I was like, well, what if I did this like for real? And it was just something I guess I was always intrigued in and interested in. I always wanted to learn more. And once I heard about experiences, I wanted to go to these places. I wanted to like do it myself. I was more intrigued. I wanted more. I wanted to know more. And I think that's just what led to, I was like, you know what? And originally the goal wasn't to start my own paranormal team. I actually reached out to Mike and JPI. And now, funny enough, he's, you know, one of my close friends and stuff. Yeah, Mike Polero. And funny enough, now he's one of my close friends. We work together on some investigations and stuff. But and I reached out if they were looking for anybody. I was just too young at the time. They weren't really interested in having probably someone that young on the team, and it's understandable. But now
they're lost.
It led me to have my own team and where I'm at now. So I'm thankful for that. And as soon as I said I was starting my own team, he was, you know, the first one to jump in, like, you know, let's meet. I'll help you. And he was a big part of that. And another person actually that I don't really mention much on here, and I would like to mention is Joe Perry. I want to say he owns Paranormal Oddities. He was a huge help to me too when I was starting out. He owns Paranormal Oddities in Depew, New York. And I bought some equipment from him at first and stuff. And I used to go in there and I would just sit down with him and he would talk with me and really, you know, give me the ins and the outs of the business. And we even talked about TV, like one day, like getting on TV and, you know, how it's really not that hard to get on TV anymore these days and stuff like that. And he was a really, really big help to me too. And I just wanted to, you know, send out a little shout out to him and a thank you to him because I don't think I do it enough. But Joe's
I
awesome.
I don't think he gets enough recognition from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I've heard his name throughout the years. I never spoke to him, I don't think personally, but I have heard his name and I've heard nothing but good stuff that I can think of.
It's funny, Scott, how I actually found him. So I went on Google and I looked up where to buy ghost hunting equipment near me. And the first thing to pop up was his store, Paranormal Oddities, and clicked it. It was in Depew. I asked my friend, I was like, hey, can we go to Depew and go to the store? He's like, sure. So we went to Depew and met this guy. And then he became someone that I just like a mentor to me. And I'd go back sometimes just to talk to him, not even buy anything, just to go back and we would just talk. So he was really helpful. And I'm really glad that he was the first door to pop up, you know, and very thankful for him and the help that he gave me. So.
Because a lot of other places wouldn't take the time. I mean, they might if you were a little closer to them, but yeah, it's definitely you got lucky in that situation. That's for sure. And back to the Conjuring home, yeah, and you would know. You're speaking from experience from the Sweets Estates.
Yeah, Ed. Yeah, for sure. And like I feel like Ed's kind of you know, he gets kind of he would know it kind of more on a personal level too because he lives right in his location, which, man, I give props to Ed because I don't know if I would be able to stay there as much as Ed does. And some of the stuff, Ed, I look at everything you post on Facebook and stuff, and I just look at that stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know if I would be able to do what he does. So props to you.
Right. Yeah. Be careful though. Be careful.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't. And Buffalo Terminal, yeah, I've heard a lot of Buffalo, the terminal there.
Buffalo's up a
Some of
tree.
the
Yeah.
earlier Ghost Hunter episodes were there.
Yeah, that was actually on my wish list when I first started, and then I found out they weren't doing anything anymore there, like paranormal tour wise. And oh man, that was so sad because I still to this day would love to get in there. I haven't
Well,
contacted them in a few years. So
you're starting to get some connections and such. So maybe within a couple of
right,
years, you'll have that ability. Now, see, some of the things that you're bringing up is kind of reminiscence of why my group started up. The Ghost Hunters connection, though we weren't kids back when that was on. But
right,
me and Leefoot started off with, we were working with each other at a local factory, and we would watch that show. We were both interested in it. And so we started off, Warren Area Society Paranormal started off as a joke between me and Lee at this work, because on the TV show, it would say plumbers during the day, ghost hunters at night.
right, yeah,
Well, the factory that we worked at, we were one of the jobs we would do was titled popping peppers. It core out the peppers for the food we were making. And so we were pepper poppers. So we'd laugh and we'd be like, we're pepper poppers during the day, ghost hunters at night.
I love that.
And then we carried on to, well, if we're gonna be part of a group, we have to have a name. And the
Right,
original name for our group, jokingly, was Warren Area Haunting Association, or WAHA for short. And so we'd see each other and we'd be like, instead of saying hello, we'd be like, WAHA, WAHA. People start asking, what the hell is that? And at first we were like, it's just inside thing. And then it carried on to people were like, no, we've heard you said this enough. What's that about? So we kind of told them a little bit, and they're like, oh, why don't you start a group? And at first we're like, yeah. And then we started saying, well, why don't we start a group? And
right.
so we got together and met Angel and Jay and grew the group. And nobody else in the group thought Waha was a good choice. So we ended up with Wasp.
That's pretty cool.
So we started off because of making a little fun of ghost hunters.
Yeah.
I thought, who you gonna call? Waha.
Yeah. See, I love it. That would have been pretty cool stuff, but Waha.
Yeah.
I
guess they felt that it wasn't as professional as it
that's
could
what I was
be.
thinking. I guess on a professional aspect, Wasp is definitely, more professional than Waha.
But it's not as fun to say.
Right. No, not at all.
We could start off every meeting with, we call the order of Waha. Anyways, all kidding aside. But yeah, so a lot of things what you're saying as the start of yours, I could feel a lot of similarities between the two groups, that's for sure. So
yeah.
Hopefully you'll be, and not hopefully, I know you guys will be around as long as we've been, if not longer. We're working towards, I believe, our 15th year.
Wow, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, that's for sure.
Right.
Well, most days it don't. But like with COVID, though, COVID really took its toll on paranormal teams.
Yeah. Like I came in, I guess, during that time, because we were started to, I had so much time on my hands. But yeah, I guess looking at it, I heard that a lot, for teams who were already established, and like you guys been around before COVID, what, 10, 11 years, before COVID happened. So, I mean,
Right.
I guess, yeah, that probably did, really negatively impact teams like that.
Well, before COVID, and I won't say it was like everyday situation, but we were definitely going in spurts where we'd have a month or two of no cases as far as residential and such, and then all of a sudden we'd have 3 or 4, and then we'd go a little bit, and then 3 or 4, and COVID hit, and it was like nobody wanted nobody around them.
Right, yeah.
And I understand. I do think we're starting to come out of that. There's still some lingering effects, but I'm seeing it starting to be less and less.
Right, right. Yeah, and
So,
probably too, like when COVID first happened, there probably wasn't, you couldn't go to these probably like locations investigate either. Not only clients, but like these well-known public investigations. I'm sure they weren't doing those either at the start of COVID.
during
Yeah,
the start and during, yeah, no, you couldn't like go to Waverly Hills or anything like
right,
that. I mean, I'm sure that you could go to like little places like cemeteries and such, um, but not any place where you're like almost a business doing it.
right.
So, so a lot of teams kind of, I think there's a lot of teams that actually stop being teams because of it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I think it took a toll on like a lot of different fields and businesses and companies, and I think like especially like probably paranormal teams. I couldn't even imagine being around before.
And he's not around now. He ghosted us. Or my computer froze up. Who are you seeing? Me or a blank screen over there? If you could leave a comment, let me know that one of us is still here. That'd be great. Thumbs up or whatever. But yeah, folks, COVID definitely took effect on teams. I don't know if the affected you paranormal wise, if you're part of a team. Ed, I don't think you had your home at that point. So, okay, thank you. I was just kind of talking just in case. He's not in the background either. So, um, it is what it is. Maybe the internet on his end, maybe something come up. Um, if he pops back in, we'll bring him back on. So if not, he's an excellent guest. I'm sure we'll have him on again. He's a very, I can't believe he's only 18 years old. I was thinking he was like 24, but he said he's 18. I asked him like 3 or 4 times because I couldn't believe it. He's definitely got a lot going on in his life that's going to just, he's somebody that I feel like you guys should keep an eye on. Um, I think he'll grow into a lot of stuff. If not, he's an interesting young man and he'll keep you entertained either way. So we'll give him a few minutes, see if he comes back on. I try not to have the show go over 2 hours too often. Maybe if we had 4 or 5 guests on at once, that might be a different story. But with being 1-on-1 or 1-on-3, 2 hours is more than enough. People get tired of sitting there and listening to us drone on. Interesting stuff, don't get me wrong, but with the human population, our ability to be 3 or 4 hours long is kind of harder nowadays with the quickness of everything from our food to videos like TikTok and such. It's easy to kind of tune out after 10-15 minutes or quicker. So as far as these shows, I have Mike Polaro coming on shortly, and I don't know. He left us. I don't know if I should bring him back on. He uh he just middle sentence gone. See ya. Shall we bring him back on, guys? He's in the back. He's in backstage waiting. If I get one person with a yes, I'll bring him back on. Otherwise, he's got to sit back there and listen to me talk and carry on and just nobody just jumps off my show. Who does he think he is? Nobody said yes yet, so you get to hang out back. Don't pick your nose. I see you. Kidding aside, let's bring Caleb back.
Oh man,
Was
I am
that
so sorry. I guess my computer it didn't even like tell me that it was dying and it just shut off during me talking. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I just kind of rambled on for a minute. That's okay. I told him how horrible you were, and I can't believe I wasted my time on this interview. And
Oh, I'll watch it back. I'll watch it back. Don't worry.
I don't blame you. I would.
Yeah.
At least for the last 5 minutes, at the hour 30-minute mark, you'll be all right.
Oh man.
But yeah, we all have things like that happen. That's one thing I do like about StreamYard is if I were to disappear being the host or whatever, it keeps going until we could reconnect. So like if I disappear, you would have been able to keep doing what you're doing. So
Flip this.
if you're lucky and your guest is able to, they carry on the show and until you get back on. Did you jump on your phone?
Yeah, I jumped on my phone, but I think is there a glare in the background?
A major one, there is, but
Okay, so there we go. Feel better. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys.
you're fine. I mean, we've been on for over an hour. When Peter died, it was like an hour 35 minutes. So understandable. I just rattled on for a couple minutes. No big deal. I was just talking about. I just started bringing up that Mike will be on towards the end of the month. COVID, though, yeah, COVID was a killer for teams. I think we all agreed to that.
Right, yeah.
Here's another guy missing in action, Mr. J. Wow, another member of WASP.
Hey, Jason.
And you're perfect now, sir.
Perfect.
But Jay likes to pop in later on the last couple minutes. He can only stand so much of my presence.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I'm hoping that maybe I could throw some ideas at you for like I did with the bell on a string earlier or such.
Yeah.
Feel free to reach out if I ask a question, and if I'm lucky enough, I'll give you an answer.
Yeah, Scott, I think sometime soon maybe we should set up like maybe like a private phone call or something and talk. We haven't really had a chance to talk in a while, one-on-one and get some things. But I think we definitely are investigating together this summer time for sure. And
Yes,
we'll have
sir.
to talk and stuff and get together sometime for sure.
Don't worry, guys. This private phone call I'll record and put on live stream later for y'all. You won't miss nothing. I'll get inside. There was something I was just getting ready to say, and I got distracted. That's when you're tired, your mind goes pretty quick, don't it?
Yes, it does. I don't know. I always do that. Or sometimes like I'll get up and know what I want to grab, and I'll get to it, and I'm like, what was it that I wanted to grab? I forgot. I do that a lot.
You know why you forget, right?
Right.
This is Men in Black with their little flashlight things erasing your memory.
Yeah. So they say what? They say an alien abduction or something too.
Right. I'm not gonna get away from this.
Oh man. Yes. Everybody.
I will tell you that was a mistake on my behalf too. I was tired during that video as well.
Oh man.
I said 300 views across all the platforms that it's on. I didn't think about it. I should have said somewhere around 1,000 or something, But after I said it, I recovered a little bit and put by March 25th. And yes, I told Leefoot that I'm feeling so confident I'd give him till March 26th. So
Wow.
So I guess March 26th. Technically I don't know right now. I believe it's roughly 230, 240 between all the platforms.
After this podcast though, it'll be more. I'll share it.
You might not find the right video.
I'll go through all of them. I'll sit there. I'll find it.
Scott and the granddaughters eating ramen.
Okay, all right.
Right.
So what's the title of the video?
It's a good try next year.
No, it's not.
We're not gonna, let's just say 306, and no. If you want to dress up, feel free to do it, sir. I notice nobody else wants to join me, but I mean, I'm not shaving either. I don't know if they make a dress that big for me.
Oh yeah. Aria and I'll find you one. Aria was saying we should put you in a 2-piece with a mini skirt.
Oh, stop it. I've already said the 26. I may in New Orleans. I don't know what you're talking about, New Orleans. Oh, you'll get dressed up in a dress in New Orleans. Okay. Well, hey, what you do in your spare time's on you. But if you make the newspaper in a bad way, you'll be removed from the group.
Oh man.
I tease. But I think we're starting to go off on tangents here and such. Before I get too many people aware of what's going on, I think, sir, we're going to wrap up. If that's okay with you, is there anything else that you feel like you'd like to bring up or topic or anything?
No, not that I know of. I mentioned everything I wanted to mention. I
Sure.
want to thank you again, though. It's always a pleasure being on, and I have a lot of fun talking with you and your viewers. So thank you again for that, and thank you everyone who tuned in and watched. I appreciate you all.
Definitely, and they come for you guys. For Dora Constantine. I am just blessed to be able to bring interesting people like yourself onto the show. I get to say one or two words here and there, and you guys take the rest. So you guys make the show. I'm just lucky enough to piece it together for everybody.
Yeah,
but I really appreciate your kind words. I do. Um, I'm glad you enjoyed it, May. For those that was first time coming in, I know a lot of people came here because you brought them here. I really appreciate that as well. So I seen you share it out, and I seen a lot of people saying, "When's it gonna be? I want to see it. I want to see it." And feel free to let them know that there's a replay option as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I'll share this actual podcast once we get off. I'll share it on my page as well. So
I much appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that, and best of luck to you. Definitely. We'll definitely get back. I will definitely reach out to you. A good possibility tomorrow. I'd probably be asleep before long.
yeah, right.
And yeah, there's a lot of ideas to kick around between the two of us, I'm sure. Like making sure Leefoot knows he's our tech guy. He likes to argue with me on that. You can help me bring him back over to that side of things. As a matter of fact, why don't you come become part of an honorary member of WASP and whip these guys in shape?
Yeah, all right. I'm down.
Now Leefoot gets a little grouchy, so don't let his grouchiness scare you away. He's a big teddy bear.
Oh man.
But all right, sir, I'm rambling on. It's a pleasure. Do I have your promise that you'll be back on again?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. If you invite me, I will be here. Like I said, I always have fun. It's always a blast with you, Scott. So I really appreciate it. And by far, I've been on quite a few podcasts. I've been on the radio station, and I'll say this is one of my favorite podcasts to be part of. It's always a blast every time I come on here. So I really appreciate it. And thank you.
You're too kind. Definitely too kind. And
I am not the tech guy.
see, I tell you, we need to whip them in shape, man.
Yep.
So you have a good night, sir, and
You
I'll
too.
talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks.
Bye now.
Bye.
Always a pleasure to have him on. He's always so much energy through the show, and he's always got so many different things going on. It seems like every time I speak to him, he's got at least two different things, if not more, that he's got in the works. Like I said, he's got a lot of stuff coming up. You never know; he might be the next Zach, the next Jason Howes and such. He definitely is. I got a feeling he's gonna make it big in the paranormal world. And like I said, if he doesn't, he's a very interesting young man. If you get to chat with him and such on social media, I don't see where you would go wrong. So uh, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I will have a show lined up for, I believe it's the last Saturday in March with Jason Polaro. I think I always feel like I pronounce his last name wrong, but he's of Jamestown Paranormal JPI, Jamestown Paranormal Investigators. That's it, from Jamestown, New York. He'll be on with one of his team members. I believe her name is Jen, but don't hold me to that. 7:35 Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't followed me, please follow me now. Um, and without nothing more to say, I really appreciate it, Ed. You're always a lot of support for us, and he has a lot of activity that he shows on his social media. Go check him out. The Sweet Home Estate in Fillmore, New York. But I'm gonna let you guys go. You're gonna see. You're the reason why I don't want to wear a dress, because I'm afraid you're gonna sneak up behind me and goose me, sir. um, so, as always, guys, stay spooky, and I'll see you soon.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping down and appreciate the visit. Now get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.